Every man carries within him a unique presence, and whether he realizes it or not, that presence speaks long before words do. Women notice the details, sometimes subtle, sometimes bold, that reveal who you are at your core. They don't just see the clothes you wear, but the confidence with which you carry yourself. They don't just hear your words, but they feel the respect behind them. The truth is, first impressions are powerful, and the smallest gestures can leave the deepest impact. What women instantly notice is not perfection, but authenticity. Your grooming reflects how much you value yourself. Your posture shows your strength and self-belief. Your tone of voice, whether calm or careless, reveals your attitude toward others. The way you listen, not just speak, tells them how much you respect their presence. Even your energy, whether restless or steady, leaves a mark before a conversation begins. But here lies the motivation. You don't need to become someone else to be noticed in the right way. You only need to refine what's already within you. Carry yourself with dignity, because self-respect sets the standard for how others treat you. Dress neatly, not to impress, but to show pride in who you are. Speak with clarity, because every word can inspire or diminish. And above all, treat people, especially women, with genuine kindness, because character outshines everything else. Remember, women notice instantly, but they also remember deeply. Let what they see reflect a man who is grounded, respectful, and confident in his own skin. Not flawless, not artificial, but real. When you embody these values, you don't just get noticed, you earn respect, admiration, and trust. And that is far greater than any instant impression. Presence speaks louder than words. A man's confidence, body language, and energy make an impression before he even speaks. Authenticity matters more than perfection. Women value genuineness over attempts to appear flawless. Self-care reflects self-respect. Grooming, dressing neatly, and posture show how much a man values himself. Respect is revealed through communication, listening, tone of voice, and clarity in speech. Highlight a man's attitude toward others. Character outweighs appearance. Kindness, dignity, and integrity leave a lasting impression beyond looks. Lasting impressions come from values. Women notice instantly, but what they remember is respect, confidence, and authenticity. Before a man speaks a single word, his presence has already spoken for him. Presence is not just about being physically there. It is the aura, the confidence, and the way he carries himself. Women instantly notice how a man enters a room, whether he walks in with quiet assurance or uncertain hesitation. This subtle but powerful energy often sets the tone for how others perceive him. Confidence is not arrogance, nor is it about dominating attention. It is about being comfortable in your own skin, standing tall and allowing your natural self to shine without trying too hard. A man who exudes confidence without saying a word sends a message of strength, reliability, and self-respect. Women are quick to pick up on these signals because presence is felt rather than explained. Body language plays a crucial role here. A firm posture, steady eye contact, and relaxed movements reveal composure and control. On the other hand, slouching, restless gestures, or avoiding eye contact communicate insecurity or unease. Women are highly intuitive, and they notice these cues instantly. They often connect a man's outer presence to his inner state of mind. Energy is another silent messenger. A man with a calm, positive energy makes people feel comfortable around him. His presence draws attention naturally, without needing to force it. On the other hand, negative or restless energy can create discomfort, even if he looks good or speaks well. This is why presence is so powerful. It introduces you before your words ever can. Women may not always articulate what they noticed, but they feel it immediately. Your presence is a reflection of your confidence, attitude, and authenticity. And when those elements align, you make an impression that lasts far beyond the first glance. Authenticity is one of the most powerful qualities a man can possess, and women notice it instant. In a world where appearances often take center stage, being genuine sets you apart. Perfection is not only impossible, it is also unrelatable. What women truly value is a man who is real, comfortable with himself, and not trying to put on a mask to impress. Authenticity shows courage, because it means you are willing to be seen as you are, with strengths and flaws alike. When a man tries too hard to appear flawless, it often comes across as insincere. Women can sense when someone is pretending, and it creates distance instead of connection. On the other hand, a man who is confident enough to be himself shows emotional strength. He doesn't need approval to validate his worth, and that quiet assurance is both attractive and memorable. Being authentic doesn't mean ignoring self-improvement. It means aligning who you are on the inside with how you present yourself on the outside. For example, speaking honestly, showing genuine interest in conversations, and standing by your values reflect integrity. Women respect this consistency because it builds trust. Authenticity also brings comfort. When a man is real, it allows others to relax and be themselves too. This creates meaningful interactions instead of shallow ones. A smile that comes naturally, a compliment that is sincere, or a laugh that isn't forced, leaves a stronger impression than any rehearsed line or exaggerated display. In the end, women notice not the perfection of a man, but the truth within him. A genuine presence speaks louder than polished words or flawless appearances. It says, "This is who I am," and that honesty is what makes a man truly stand out. Self-care is one of the clearest reflections of how much a man values and respects himself, and women notice it instant. Grooming, personal hygiene, and neat dressing are not about vanity. They are signals of discipline, responsibility, and self-respect. When a man takes care of his appearance, it shows that he takes pride in who he is, and this silently communicates confidence. A well-groomed man does not have to wear expensive clothes or follow every fashion trend. What matters is cleanliness, attention to detail, and presenting himself in a way that feels sharp yet effortless. A neat haircut, trimmed nails, polished shoes, or simply a fresh and tidy outfit can make a powerful difference. These small habits signal to women that he respects not only himself, but also the people around him. Posture is another part of self-care that cannot be ignored. Standing tall with shoulders back and walking with steady steps reflects inner confidence and strength. On the other hand, slouching or careless body language often suggests insecurity or a lack of self-discipline. Women are naturally observant of these cues, and they often connect outward grooming and posture with a man's overall lifestyle and mindset. Taking care of one's health also plays a role in this impression. A man who looks active, rested, and well-maintained shows that he values balance and discipline in his life. This doesn't mean having a perfect physique, but rather showing effort and consistency in maintaining well-being. Ultimately, self-care is not about impressing others. It is about valuing yourself enough to present your best self to the world. Women notice these details instantly because they reveal more than appearance. They reveal character, responsibility, and the pride a man takes in being himself. Respect is a quality that speaks louder than any flashy display or clever line, and women notice it immediately. It is not just about polite words or courteous gestures. It is embedded in the way a man communicates, listens, and treats those around him. Respect shows that a man values others as much as he values himself, and it creates an instant sense of trust and admiration. Listening is one of the clearest signs of respect. When a man genuinely pays attention to what someone is saying, without interrupting or planning his next response, it shows that he cares about their thoughts and feelings. Women notice this attentiveness because it signals empathy, patience, and emotional intelligence. It is often more impactful than any grand statement or act of charm. Tone of voice also communicates respect. Speaking calmly, clearly, and thoughtfully indicates that a man is composed and considerate. On the other hand, a harsh, dismissive, or careless tone can create discomfort and suggest indifference or arrogance. Even subtle cues, like maintaining eye contact and responding thoughtfully, reinforce the message of respect. Respect is also reflected in small actions, opening doors, remembering details about conversations, or simply being punctual may seem minor, but they demonstrate reliability and consideration. Women pick up on these details quickly because they indicate a man's values and how he approaches relationships. Ultimately, respect goes beyond surface-level gestures. It is a reflection of character. Women notice instantly when a man treats them and others with dignity and sincerity. It leaves a lasting impression because it signals maturity, integrity, and the ability to form meaningful connection. A man who communicates with respect doesn't just get noticed. He earns trust and admiration, creating a presence that resonates far beyond first impressions. Character is the foundation of a man's true worth, and women notice it far more deeply than physical appearance. While looks may attract attention for a moment, it is integrity, kindness, and authenticity that leave a lasting impression. A man's character shows in the way he handles challenges, treats people regardless of their status, and stays true to his values even when no one is watching. Kindness is one of the strongest markers of good character. Small acts of consideration, whether it is offering help, showing patience, or simply treating others with decency, speak volumes about who a man really is. Women are quick to recognize when kindness is genuine rather than performed for approval, and this sincerity becomes unforgettable. Integrity is another defining trait. A man who keeps his word, stands by his beliefs, and acts with honesty demonstrates reliability and strength. Physical looks may fade or change, but integrity creates trust, and trust is what women value in meaningful connections. Character also reveals itself in humility. A man who respects others without needing to boast or belittle shows quiet confidence. Women notice humility instantly because it reflects inner security rather than fragile ego. Confidence combined with humility creates balance, strength without arrogance. What makes character so powerful is that it cannot be faked for long. Unlike appearance or material possessions, it shines through consistently in behavior and choices. Women may admire a man's style or charm at first, but it is his character that determines whether admiration grows into respect. In the end, character outshines appearance every time. Women remember how a man made them feel, how he treated others, and whether his actions matched his words. That inequality defines lasting impact, making character the truest measure of a man's presence. Lasting impressions are created not by fleeting moments or superficial gestures, but by the values a man embodies, and women notice this instantly. While first impressions capture attention, what lingers in memory is how a man carries himself, how he treats others, and the principles that guide his actions. These values act as a silent language, communicating who he is without the need for words. Consistency is key to leaving a lasting impression. A man who aligns his behavior with his words demonstrates reliability and trustworthiness. Women notice when actions match promises because it signals authenticity and integrity. Inconsistency, on the other hand, can create doubt and weaken respect. No matter how charming or confident a man appears initially, confidence combined with respect for others forms another cornerstone. A man who is self-assured yet considerate shows balance. He is secure in himself, but not at the expense of others. Women remember this balance because it conveys strength without arrogance, and empathy without weakness. These subtle qualities often make the deepest impression. Kindness, patience, and attentiveness are also remembered long after first meetings. Women notice these traits immediately and they form the foundation of trust and admiration. Small gestures of genuine care, listening attentively, offering support, or showing appreciation resonate far more than grandiose displays. Ultimately, what women remember is not just what they saw, but what they felt in the presence of a man. Values like integrity, humility, and respect create a sense of comfort and admiration that lasts far beyond any initial glance. A man who embodies these principles leaves an impression that is not temporary, but enduring, shaping the way he is perceived. And remember, when values guide actions consistently, a man's presence becomes memorable, meaningful, and respected.